I was born in southern Sudan, little town called Kongor. When I was 7 years old, war broke out in southern Sudan, and was forced away to leave Sudan, and I went to Ethiopia when I was 7, and I traveled, for about 1,000 miles. When we were on our way to Ethiopia, we had to encounter a lot of difficulties. There were times where we didn't have no food. There were times where we didn't have no water. There were times when you get sick, you don't get good medical attention. When we got to Ethiopia, we were the first, to begin the place, to build our houses, and we didn't get no house at all. So we just settled under the tree, and that was our building. Again, we stayed in Ethiopia for 4 years. After the war in Ethiopia, we flew back to Sudan, and we had to come across the border of southern Sudan and Ethiopia, and there was a river there. People were running at gunpoint, and you just jump into the river because that was the only option for us to cross the river that is being infested by crocodiles, a river that is having a high current, and we made it to the other side of the river. That was the first time, for us to see how God can really help people. We have never seen that miracle happening, someone crossing a river, without that person knowing how to swim. It was a miracle. We came back to Sudan in 1991, and we came to Kenya in 1992. And that's where we stayed for 9 years before I came to the United States. When we got to the Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya, that's when I started going to school for the first time. And I started my first grade there. My classroom setting was just under the tree. That's what I call a classroom. I don't have no notebook or a school material that are necessary, to start a school. All we had was a teacher and a blackboard, and that's what we call a school. You go to school and you come back. Your notebook is just a ground. You will just wake up early in the morning and try, to go there and level the piece of ground, the dirt, and write on it to memorize everything that I've been taught in the school. That's kind of how we did it, for the first 3 years. And we kind of took it serious, because we thought, school is going to be our mother and father, since we haven't lived with our parents, for that long. So we kind of took it, even if we faced some problems, we will still keep going to school because, that's the only way. The food was not adequate. What was given to one person is about 14 kilograms of maize or corn, and maybe 1 cup of oil and a quarter cup of salt. That is what is given to one person for 14 days. I think that's about 35 pounds of corn for 14 days. So what we normally do is we will divide it up, up to 11 days. And then the rest of the days, we call those 3 days, you don't have anything to eat there, so we just normally call them black days. What we normally do, we will gather ourselves, in a special place and play some games, dominoes. We have some people cracking jokes so that we will laugh, and, we will play at the same time, and then the day will pass by. We keep going to school at the same time because we didn't want to give up. And that's kind of how we made it. And when we were in Kakuma refugee camp, that's where most of the Lost Boys got their education. They started from first grade. They finished primary school. We went to high school. And before some of us did finish high school. I did not finish. I was in 11th grade. And, I learned that, my name, is one of those people who is coming to the United States. So when I learned that, my name is there, I was very excited. And I was very thankful to what God has done in my life. And that's when, most of people begin to know that, God has never forgotten about us. He has been there with us all the time. So I came here in 2001, and I went to North Carolina. That's the place that was assigned for me to resettle there, because the agency that is responsible for you is the one who decide, what state are you going to. So I was resettled in North Carolina. And when I went there, for the first week, the agency that was responsible for us has already organized, has a connection with churches, local churches in High Point, North Carolina. And I had a family volunteering themselves to be a mentor family. And I met Reed and Robin Beebe. They volunteered themselves to help us transition into America, and I was assigned. I was given to them, so that they can help me. And we became good friends, and I became part of the family, and they moved here 5 years ago. When I came here, it was God that was helping me come here, because I need to be closer to people that love me, my other family. And that's how God has been helping me out. They have been big influence in my life since I've been here in America. And that's God's blessing. I am where I am today because of their presence in my life. And I'm very thankful for that. I cannot count, what they have done to me, but that's God that is doing that. He provides for me through them.